The solutions, this is where the business owner oftentimes can do some of their best work. Like, business owners are great at solving things, coming up with ideas and solving problems. So with enough space to be able to figure out, here's a fire, here's how we think we solve it, pass it to your integrator, and then they can make sure it gets actioned. Or, your integrator and your business owner, your visionary, I still call myself, your integrator and your visionary will sometimes have that discussion and come up with the solution. Another way is, you don't also need to find or know the solution. You can find someone who already has it. This comes back to that thing I mentioned earlier. Sometimes it's a better question to ask, not how do I do something, but who? Like, who already has that insight that I can then go out on, here's the problem I've got, can we solve it? You go and you've got a problem with your bookkeeping, and maybe people aren't paying your invoices on time. And you're finding that you're always chasing people up, right? Maybe that's a problem that you've identified in your business. So you start to think about solutions. You may or may not be able to come up with one. Maybe the last thing that you do is you go to your accountant and say, I've got this problem in my business. How is this solved? Rather than you trying to figure it out, find the right person who has the knowledge, and then you figure that out, and the accountant says, well, I've got all of these clients and there's a lot of them who just invoice up front. Would it work in your industry to invoice up front rather than invoicing at completion? Wow, okay, well, there's a big breakthrough. You take it back, you install that problem, and then now you don't have the problem of having to chase people up to pay because you don't start working for them until they've paid. Now, that won't work in every industry, but that idea of how you can solve problems and you don't necessarily have to have the answer. And as part of this innovation, you've started measuring, you figure out what the problems are, you come up with that solution, and then you test it to see what's going on. Now, if this works, you go back. Part of the implementation is also like a reviewing process. You want to go, did this increase the speed of the delivery of the product or service? Did it lower the cost or reduce the waste, or whatever the outcome is that you were looking to solve? You've now got some numbers that you can measure against, and then go, oh yes, it achieved that. If it achieved that, then now you want to internalize it. You get it documented, and that becomes part of the way that you do business. Does that kind of make sense? So it's this, and it's cyclical. Then you go back to more problems. This doesn't stop. This is your new hamster wheel. You just keep going round solving those problems. But the key is, you as the business owner, you're solving it once, and then you're getting the right systems in place to then have it solved perpetually, so then you can start to look at the other steps. So that's what the optimization phase.